Marla and Dave radio experience begins in 3, 2, 1. Now, if you're ready, we will begin. Go. Welcome to the Marla and Dave radio show. This is reality radio with a couple that keeps it real. Current events, pop culture, music, relationships, fitness, the hot topics of the day. Marla and Dave Thomas. This is the Marla and Dave radio show. Real radio. Turn up!
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show.
Hi, I decided to actually be very relaxed.
Marla was actually almost ready. I caught that. Her mouth was like...
Because I decided to stop. I decided it's time for me to stop competing because generally... You know, I found that there's way more victories in our relationship than anything else, and there's no need for me to beat you to the punch saying, hello, welcome to the Marla and Dave show.
Okay, well, you know, I'll accept that as long as you don't try to say it's all about the tennis court.
Now, you know what? You don't even say anything. We're not even going to deal with that. Come to this week, Dave.
Oh, it's this week?
Yeah, come to this week.
This is the week.
That's so last week.
You know what? I hope it is the week for you.
It is. You know what? I'm full of sin, so you should be careful. I just got back from Vegas this morning. So several people...
Do you have to sin when you go to Vegas?
It's not that. I was physically touched by sin.
Is that like...
Listen, there was I think there was an impure nipple that found its way into my life. It's on Instagram. It was.
Oh, I thought those were like breast-shaped earmuffs.
No, it was
because it was kind of cold, and you were.
It was kind of like an assault on some level. You didn't see it?
Oh man.
We can keep layup the whole time. She can. You know what? I don't even want to get into my mood song right now. I'm about to, but this show is really not even. This is the Marla, Dave, Lalah three-peat show.
Three-peat in the house.
Can we get some? Give me a cheers for that.
Yay! Thank you so much. She went back to back.
back to back to back.
I feel sad though because from this point on, no one will ever be able to say back that thing up. It'll mean something altogether different for you.
It will. I don't even. Honestly, I'm playing with you, but I'm still in a dream. I'm still in a super surreal.
Really?
Yes, it's super dreamy.
Wow, okay.
We're going to get into it.
I want to know what that means. Super dreamy. That's going to be a good one.
Because I also want to know, Lay, and I mean, you know, this isn't your first rodeo.
No.
You have 2 Grammys.
I do.
And now you have 3.
Yeah.
Is there a difference in the experiences? But don't answer yet, because we're going to get in that when we come back from the break.
And we're going to find out why this is historic. Why was this historic? Don't answer just yet. We're going to talk about that.
And what day did you color your locks purple? Don't answer.
Anyway, let's hit me with a mood song, Tony.
Boys turn to men.
Little ghetto boy, playing in the ghetto street. What you gonna do when you grow up and have to face responsibility?
What you were working that
I was in a space. It puts me in a space.
Okay, so you know what? I had a mood song, but then I switched my mood song.
You did?
To this one. Hit me, Tony.
Oh, what?
Woke up, jumped out my bed. CNN, another black brother dead. Feet to the pedal. Life don't matter when you're born in the ghetto. Settle, compassion, gang sign flashing, neighborhood clashing.
Yeah, see,
I love it.
So it's the same song, but with a little more, hood represented up in there. So, and Marla, I thought you'd appreciate that since you're about to.
I didn't know if you were auditioning to be Layla's hype person on stage because she's already working out the DJ thing. She's got Spark.
Yeah.
But what she doesn't have is somebody to do just what you did, just run around and
dead. Yeah.
Dead. Right.
And it's not just dead; it's dead.
Dead. You gotta say it like Snoop.
Anyway,
that's funny.
Before we go another step, we always want to let you guys know that the Marla and Dave show is brought to you by the Selfie Station. If you're one of those people in life that says to yourself, man, I really want to own my own business, I just can't afford it. Well, guess what? You can. It's a selfie station. It's a portable photo booth that's connected to the internet, connected to all the social networks. It really is the life of the party. You can own the selfie station, and in owning the selfie station, you can get paid to be the life of somebody else's party.
Wow.
You will be surprised, actually, how much someone will pay you to be the life of their party. And if you sign up today at ubn.com, www.ubnselfie.com, we will give you $500 off the professional package. Tony, am I saying that right?
Don't forget to enter the code.
$500?
Yes, $500 off. And you can only get that really nice discount by entering the M&D show. That is the special code that you need to get $500 off the professional package. And again, you'll be surprised how much someone else will pay you to be the life of their party.
Now,
the selfie station.
And next time, I think I'm going to have to cash in on that because, Lay, you've become now also, first, your Grammy fame.
Yeah.
Second, your Red Cup parties.
It's the Red Cup party, the Red Cup party. That's really a Raquel thing. Raquel really got the Red Cup party.
I believe that.
Off the ground, yes. She came.
But
over
now
with
it is
Red
actually
Cups.
a thing.
Yes, we enjoy our Red Cups. We drink everything out of them. Water, juice, soda,
whiskey.
We have whiskey.
Does that make it a
rum.
party when you're drinking water out of the Red Cup?
I mean, if you decide.
Would you drink water in Vegas out of a Red Cup?
That's a party. where two or more are gathered and there's a Red Cup, it's a party.
Wow.
Well, speaking of Vegas, as we've come to our close with the Week in Review, yesterday was my birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday to Marla.
Really?
A little.
You guys having birthday wars?
No, this is going on. This has
We
been
always
going on
have these
between.
birthday wars.
Yeah.
I think it started when Layla was trying to figure out how she could actually separate and Layla was like the younger sister.
She's a separatist
Because she claims I broke her ankle, and from that point on, she was finding something to separate and just I'm younger than you are, and I'm
It's true.
Bro, come on.
It's true.
But anyway,
We're born the same year, but Mimi was clearly pregnant before I was even thought of. True.
well, I'm not. No matter what she says today, it's absolutely true. Well, kinda, but most things. Because you know what? I'm so overjoyed. I feel like I can't stop smiling on her behalf. It's crazy.
A lot, isn't it crazy?
It's pretty crazy.
It's nuts.
I was screaming so loud. But anyway, I keep digressing. Yes, there was a birthday. The birthday getaway took me to Vegas. Follow through my Instagram. It was quite a time. There was the girl with the big breast at the Fremont thing who wanted to take a picture with my friend and then wanted
Marla actually tried to act like she didn't like the breast, but every picture that I saw, Marla's face was really up in the breast.
That's what you saw was panic. You've seen me do it before. I was trying to
I
escape.
couldn't tell whether you were panicked. I couldn't tell if you were actually able to breathe.
That's the whole point. The breast was actually pressing into my diaphragm, and I was losing air. So I'm saying.
I missed all of that.
Yeah, it's right there on Instagram.
All
I have
right,
to show it. I have to show it to you.
Check it out.
Dave, Take 6 was somewhere. You were somewhere.
We were everywhere. We
Take
started
6.
off here in Rancho Cucamonga. Then we went to...
You guys had a show here, and I didn't know.
It's not really here. It's like 70 miles away.
She has several cars. Don't try to escape with
You have to
that.
park one in Pasadena and then get in that one and continue the trip. Anyway, we also went up to Bellingham, which is right outside of Seattle.
Santa Rosa.
We were in Santa Rosa in wine country up there.
Nice.
Yep.
Getting ready for the new album drop.
Getting ready for the new album drop, March 25th.
March 25th, new Take 6
Yep,
album?
new Take 6 CD. Believe.
I have said this before, and I'm not playing it all. Take 6 is the best a cappella group ever. There are none like it. There were none really before like it. There will be none after it like it
Thank
ever
you.
again.
I thank you, and I thank you on behalf of the guys.
Never slumber.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sleep.
You are.
They're both auditioning for the other ones.
It's not
Dave's gonna
about
be the hype man.
It's not about Take 6 today. It's
It sure
about
isn't.
Lalah Hathaway,
Period.
her three-peat after Grammy glow
Thank you. Thank you so much.
for was it Best Traditional R&B?
Yes.
Little Ghetto Boy.
Yes.
Which
Wow.
was deep in itself. First of all, the category.
Yeah.
Holy, when you realize that it wasn't even just like a best female performance. It's like to
Which
me
they don't do anymore.
Right? Oh, they don't.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
They've
Faith
erased the
Evans.
gender.
Faith Evans was in the
Tyrese
category.
was in the category.
Jasmine Sullivan,
Charlie
Tyrese,
Wilson.
Charlie Wilson,
Yeah, that's
Uncle
crazy.
Charlie,
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah.
Lalah Hathaway's in the
I
house.
don't know if it's all that.
We'll be right back. More with Lalah.
You're listening to the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network. Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for MaD News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
Okay, so this is an Are You Kidding Me? Charlize Theron was actually caught on video, first of all, dragging her son through the parking lot and kind of slinging him into the car. Now, there are a couple of crazy things about that. A, her son's black. So that caught me off guard right off the spot because they were like, oh, this is an outrage. I'm like, yeah, it's an outrage. Charlize Theron is abusing a little black stranger.
Okay.
Adopted him.
Then I saw that she had adopted him and it was her son. I was like, oh,
But see, now,
that doesn't
hold
make
on.
it. That doesn't make it better.
But that makes it upset. That upsets me that you act like because she's mothering a black child as his mother, black or white, kids just they just act up. Kids can
Yeah,
every
but
kid,
see,
no matter what the color, can make you want to catch a case.
What I realized is that she was raising a black child and didn't know that she had to spank him. So she was trying to raise him in a way that she was used to and just trying to say, hey, little buddy, please get in the car. He was like, hell no. Not only that, the other part about it is he was wearing ballerina shoes.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, Dave. Why can't he be expressive?
What I'm saying is apparently the kid didn't want to go to ballet class.
Oh.
And so,
You
instead
can't-
of allowing,
How?
I'm just putting my own interpretation.
How
on
are
it.
you supposed to interpret all that?
Not
How?
that,
out of a
of
photo?
course, they're guys who are great at ballet. But
There's the picture.
you see the picture?
There's the picture of her dragging the baby.
But the real bottom line is sometimes you have to let the child choose for himself, him or herself, what they want to do.
Dave, and when did you use that?
He might
parenting
want to go to
tactic?
music class.
Never. Moniece is in the other room. She's 29. She still can't decide on her own. We're still telling her what to do.
But
Hence?
you never know what she was dragging him for.
That's true.
Never know.
That's true. And I appreciate you guys being politically correct.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. He said, she
She's South
said.
African, She's South African. Do not apartheid your child.
Rob,
Oh my goodness. Rob Gronkowski he is so into turning up. They had a picture of him on a cruise and he was apparently so drunk. At least I hope he was drunk. Because the way he was dancing like a wild man on stage.
Who's Rob Gronkowski?
that's what I want to know.
What? Who's the Gronk?
Who's the Gronk?
Who's the Gronk? One of the greatest tight ends in all of football?
Oh, so he had an indecent proposal moment, it looks like.
And then after he was caught getting so turned up, he then goes to the DJ booth and starts seeing a couple, and he offered a couple $10,000 to actually start having physical sex on the dance floor.
Did they do it? Do we have photos?
Well, I
Gronk
don't have
popped
that
that
photo.
Molly. That's what happened.
Yeah, he
Gronk
was
popped
he was
Molly.
he was all over. Gronk.
Molly was cruising.
Turns out that not only can you not stop him on the football field, but you can't stop him at a club. Anyway,
So we're going to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Jesse Jackson said to the South Carolina churchgoers, if you voted yesterday, you need a real prayer. Longtime civil rights leaders warns a toxic wind a-blowing in the country and urges blacks to get out and vote.
Well, see, the real issue is he was referring to something that Donald Trump has been saying, and Donald Trump he's just been sort of echoing the sentiments that have been going on in this country since Barack Obama got elected in the first place.
Actually, since like
and that is
1700.
make America
like, what?
great again.
Yeah.
Let's take our country back.
Take our country
Make
back, is what
America
he's
great
saying.
again.
That's so
and the real
code.
bottom line is, who's greater than us right now?
Well, in math, because there's a few people.
Well, what I'm really saying is that nothing happened
According
to
to
this country
statistics.
just because Barack Obama was elected president.
No.
And
But
that's
that-
just kind of uncool.
That rhetoric was from 1600, not from Barack
Yeah.
Obama 100.
Yeah,
That rhetoric
but it's
is,
back.
We're going to take our country back.
But it's back.
But
So-
you
Y'all
know what?
all
But you
work
know
for
what?
us.
What Jesse Jackson is saying, honestly, is my biggest fear. My personal biggest fear is that we're going to slip around, and the enthusiasts that we would call strange are going to actually show up to the polls, and everybody else is going to say, this is just a bunch of foolishness, and they're not going to go to the polls, and the next thing you know,
we got to take it seriously. Got to take it seriously. Get out and vote.
And so he'll win by default, and the next thing you know, we'll all wonder why we're slaves again.
Well, I want to add, not just get out and vote, but get out and vote responsibly. Remember, this is going to be a real president that you're electing who's going to have his finger on the real trigger. So
I'm more scared of Ted Cruz, though.
Yeah, me too.
It's a horrible climate for election.
It's super bad.
All right, we'll be right back with Lalah Hathaway and her third Grammy win. It's a three-peat, y'all. Don't move. Here we go.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
All right, 323-284-7826. That is the number to call and congratulate Miss Lalah Hathaway on her third Grammy win.
Thank you. So strange.
So you know what's so weird? This is one of those instances. Okay, so I was at your house Grammy week before the Grammys began, before they happened, and I said, and when I was walking out the door, I said, Lalah, you and I were in the kitchen, and I said, it's just, to me, I feel like once Lalah fell onto the scene of their scope, not that she fell into the music scene, but once the Grammy, the Academy. Once the Academy actually understood the depth and to me, it's just unparalleled. Your talent's unparalleled.
Thank you very much.
And once they understood that, I said, now it's going to rain Grammys on you forever. I said that last year, but this year I'm like, it can only get better. I feel like you could breathe now or sneeze in 2-part harmony, and they'd be like, bet. Here she needs a Grammy.
I hope. I don't take anything for granted, but what I meant to do, I did. Like that record was super important to me to make that record and to make a live record and have the fans have them help me support the record and know that they were invested in the record. So that was the most important part. So the Grammy is really just the icing on top of the cake.
Right.
So
it's
now
recognition for all of that.
Absolutely.
Now, before we went to break, I was asking you, describe the difference in the experience from the first Grammy to the second Grammy to this Grammy.
Yes.
First Grammy was weird, but I knew I sang a chord, so I figured something would happen.
Ain't nobody can do this.
I don't know if anyone can. Second Grammy was such a sweet surprise because I felt like, okay, we did great, we tried to do great, but you just never take for granted.
Right.
This Grammy was super special because it's Daddy's song. Right. And I would never even imagine, to think that I would get a Grammy for a Little Ghetto Boy is unimaginable to me 6 months ago.
Right.
So I submitted Angel and Little Ghetto Boy. And they said, well, they would both kind of go in the same category, so choose the one you want to submit. And I chose my father's song, clearly.
So, okay, let's just go here. Your dad is iconic.
Yes.
In music, period. And with all the songs that your dad has that we all can sing, what was the inspiration for you? Why that song? Why Little Ghetto Boy?
Well, partially because I recorded the album live at the Troubadour, which is where he recorded his album live at the Troubadour, and that song is featured on that record. So I wanted to, speak to that
little
record.
history.
Yeah. And I really wanted to talk about what was going on in the streets. I really wanted to be able to say my piece about the fact that song was written over 40 years ago, but could have been written 140 years ago, and unfortunately will be able to be rewritten in 100 years probably. So I just really wanted to speak
actually.
out.
That's to me that there's the irony.
Yeah.
In
crazy.
that we're kind of back here.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, because when you listen to
did we
the
ever
lyrics,
really leave?
Yeah, we never
that's
really
the
left.
point.
Yeah.
But that's the point. But the attention changes.
Yeah.
And so, and that's even what kind of the cross conversation that we're even going to be having today, just about where we are as minorities in entertainment. And is it just shade that's being blown? Do you feel like, why did you feel that you were looked over because you were? I mean, not by your fans. You were. Let's just keep it real. She was. Because remember when I first met Lalah, how many times did I say to you, so Lalah doesn't have a Grammy? That doesn't make sense.
But
I said that in our relationship before we even.
It's true.
Listen, do you know how many great people never got a Grammy?
That's what I'm asking. Why do you think? That's because, and I don't want to,
There are a number of reasons. There are a number of circumstances. Most of this whole conversation is rhetorical because who knows? Bob Marley never got a Grammy. Donny Hathaway never got a Grammy for his own stuff. There's a lot of people nominated many times that have never gotten a Grammy. And I think I just got really lucky. I got involved. I'm a voting member of NARAS.
Were you not before?
I was not before. But at some point I was kind of anti-establishment. But I want to rise to the top of my field. So I want to be involved with what's going on and what kind of decisions are being made and how we choose things. I just want to be involved in my community of musicians and music makers.
Now, do you think that the lack of that sentiment plays into the lack of diversity in Hollywood in general?
I do with NARAS specifically because I know a lot of musicians who don't vote. I know a lot of musicians who are not involved on that level, and I really feel like, I'm pretty sure that the country music people go to the meetings and vote.
Yeah, no.
Because
and they got their own award show, too.
That's right. There's 2 and sometimes 3 presentations on that show.
Yeah.
And it's always about money. It's always about who shows up and who has
participates
the
and who brings the finance.
Right.
Well,
who generates the finance?
According to Stacey Dash, we've isolated ourselves.
Well, no, it's easy to chastise, but Lady Gaga can call Ken Ehrlich and say, "I want to do a tribute to my hero. She's got money, she's got clout. Maybe if Oprah had called and said, I want a Natalie Cole tribute, maybe we'd have had one."
Really? You think it takes that?
Maybe. Yeah.
You think it really takes that?
I think it takes.
And do you think it takes? First of all, you saw how big the tributes were to Glenn Frey.
Yeah.
The tribute to.
I think
not that Lady Gaga's tribute
to Bowie,
to David Bowie wasn't deserved.
Yeah, and great.
But Maurice White, really?
Yeah.
Really?
But did somebody say, "Hey, here I am coming with this, and such and such"?
But see, that's where the injustice goes to me, because in reality, what I'm really saying is, this is part of the historical landscape of music.
I agree with you.
So why does someone have to say, "Excuse me, hello, can we make sure that we actually celebrate?"
Yeah, Lalah, are you letting Ken Ehrlich off the hook? And NARAS in general off the hook.
I'm not letting
for saying
anyone
that
off
someone
the hook.
didn't call up.
No.
Are you?
She's making a no.
I'm only making the statement that it's for us to go in and say we want to go in and we want this tribute for Natalie Cole, and I think a lot of people said it, and it was hideous that they did not mention her. I mean, she got mentioned, but they played the last few minutes of the song.
But it was a
has
mention.
multiple Grammy wins.
She was a multiple Grammy winner. It's not a sexy event for the Grammys. And at the bottom line, they're about money. And so if Gaga is going to say, I want to come do a tribute for Bowie and have paint come down my face, they know that there are 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds.
Yeah, but you know what? This is the Grammys, and they could have asked anyone to do a tribute, and they would have said yes. That's number one. So
I agree with you.
On top of that, do you think Stevie asked to do the Maurice tribute?
No.
Or did they ask him?
It seems super after the thought. I thought that they did a beautiful job with it, but
It's like an afterthought. That's exactly correct.
I agree with you 100%. And the only thing I can say about Natalie Cole is I don't know if Nat King Cole's show was on CBS. Maybe they will do a full television special for her. I think that would be really nice.
Well,
if
they do
did
need
a
to
real
make up.
special.
They do need to make up for the injustice, at least from our perspective.
I think so.
So for our audience, for those of you who are just joining us, we have Lalah Hathaway live in the studio, 323-284-7826. Please, by all means, join the show, join our conversation. But I want to take a moment and actually, for those of you who may not have heard, which it would be very strange that haven't, but maybe, can we play the song that actually yielded her third Grammy on a three-peat, Little Ghetto Boy?
ghetto boy, playing in the ghetto streets. What you gonna do when you grow up and have to face responsibility?
This is a day in the life.
Will you spend your days and nights in a pool room? Will you sell caps of madness in the neighborhood, little ghetto boy? You already know.
Driving through the streets.
Are you actually driving?
I was actually driving.
Where was the camera mounted?
They were mounted all over the cars. And for anyone that lives in LA,
So
all
much
of this is
pain
super
and
familiar.
misery.
These guys in the car with me are super familiar. Afion, Crockett, Ambrose Akinishua,
Little ghetto boy.
Fuzzy. A lot of guys. Those are my lawyer's children. When you see them, say,
You just planted them there. Said, ride the skateboard.
young black men. You know, I wanted to showcase them.
Was the dog a plant?
It was a very hot day, and I was wearing a sweater.
Now, every time I see that, they kind of look like someone wearing a thong.
The hands? Oh,
Fat boy?
No.
He's a great rapper.
No, he is. But you see what I'm saying? But there was like a little piece of black thing.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I really wanted the video to depict what it must be like through someone's eyes. Tony's telling me. Through someone's eyes. And then having the baby in the video. The real message of the song is that everything has got to get better. That's the real message. Leimert Park. Do you guys all know about Leimert Park?
I know all about Leimert
Yeah, it's a
Park.
very famous place.
And you know what? You used to, back in the day, this was like the hangout.
Right.
This is where you did, like,
Drum
I was on
circles
Crenshaw, on the wall, down there. That's what you did.
Yeah, very important to
Fat
Los
boy.
Angeles history. That's right.
Hey guys, now after the video, we are going to continue to take your calls. I know that you're calling in, but we calling after the video to congratulate Lalah.
You see Snoop Dogg in that video, don't you?
That baby is just flat out beautiful.
Yeah. Super, super cute.
Those are biteable cheeks.
All of my friends are in the video at the end. I was struggling because they were all light skinned, and I was like, hey, are all my friends light skinned?
Lalah discriminates.
She's a racist. No. They're
There's Rasan.
all beautiful, beautiful dudes that came and helped me out.
I want to talk to you about that too. About working with the lion.
Oh, yeah. He's the best. One of the harder covers I've ever tried to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was this difficult?
You know, for me, the cover is about paying homage to what happened, but then trying to bring something new to it. And sometimes on
And not
some
mess it
songs-
up.
And not mess it up.
That's the key.
You know, give it a new twist. And my dad's music is so perfect to me. It's hard. It was hard to meet. Like, do I sing it just like Daddy, or should I do something different? It was just it was an interesting spiritual process for me.
Well, that's Little Ghetto Boy by Lalah Hathaway.
Yeah, you know.
So now you were describing that you said that this was a hard process to go through.
Definitely. Hard to meet. The
remaking.
Angel was as well. They were hard just because I have such a burned in memory and vision and sense memory of those songs that to try to meet them now felt odd. I took a couple of days on both of those songs, actually.
Well, there's
Just trying to
someone I
make sure they
think
were
who
perfect.
wants to congratulate you on the phone right now.
Who'd that
Caller,
be?
you are on the air to congratulate Lalah Hathaway, I assume. What's your name and where you calling from?
It's Big Frank, man. What's up, Detroit? We calling out Detroit, man.
Big Frank, what's
hey,
up?
Big Frank?
Tell Layla she's doing great on the scope. I'm watching now.
Well,
Thank
she's
you.
listening to you right now. You can tell yourself.
Thank you, Big Frank. I appreciate it.
Hey, you got the best scopes, Layla, between you, Marla, and DJ Spark. It's a party every day.
That's right. Thank
Well,
you
yeah.
for joining us.
I'm just soaking sin up in different cities. They're actually productive.
But on the strength, Layla, are they going to give you an honorary Lakers jersey with your own name and your own number? Because you got more championships than they do.
Oh, I like Big Frank. I'm coming over for the party.
Wow, thanks.
I'm actually not a Laker fan, so you can go all in.
Oh.
Well, you stay in L.A., so they owe you your own honorary jersey, at least in my opinion. I call, if I had Mr. Buss's number, I'd call him today.
Oh, my gosh, you're so sweet.
But you know what, Frank? That we have to ask Layla, does she want the Laker jersey?
I do. I want everything they'll give me.
Then it's done. For 8 weeks, everything Layla says just going to happen. It's the bottom line.
Well,
thank you.
I just want to say great job.
Thank you very
much. And I appreciate you redoing Anita Baker's song, Angel Just. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I found out today that Angel is #1 at Urban Adult Radio.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
I saw that as well. That's what's up.
She's really
Only the best can repeat the best.
Thank
all right,
you.
thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Big
Love
Frank.
You got to live it up, you know.
Layla,
Because you'll be in the dumps in 6 weeks. You got to remember back to the good times. Remember the good times.
All right, I think we have another caller. It's just
caller, you're on the Marla and
nonstop.
Dave show with Marla, Dave, and Lalah Hathaway celebrating the three-peat. It's Grammy Gold.
Yeah.
What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Connie, and I'm calling from Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Nice.
Yes.
So you're very familiar with Lay because you guys share a hometown.
That's right.
And Marla as well.
Oh, my God. I am so excited. I'm always calling into the radio station requesting the song.
Thank you so much for your
I
support.
joined social media just to tell Layla happy birthday. That's my first time on social media, and I have been just involved in it ever since.
Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to call in and tell her congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
I
You're
have been a
talking to
fan
me
since
right
the
now,
90s,
you know.
and I will continue to be a fan.
You know you're talking to me
I
right
know,
now.
I'm periscoping as well, so I'm looking at you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm
Hi. Oh, so sweet. Stay warm.
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh,
So-
people are the best people.
Yeah,
by the way.
they really
My
are.
people are the best, the smartest, most discerning people.
They are. They really are.
They don't
You have a good
even
group.
when people try to come for me, they get on them, but they don't sting them.
Right.
I always say I don't have a beehive. I got a nice little clump of cicadas. They will come get you.
But they only come out, what, every 7 years?
They don't descend
locusts.
on you unless I need it. But they are super loyal.
Well, you
Oh,
talked
my
about the 2
goodness.
remakes.
Yeah.
And I have been asking you this for a long time, but I'm going to ask you this again now. And when we come back from this break, I'd like for you to respond to this.
Okay.
Are you any closer? Are you ready? Are you even considering a possible album that's a tribute to all of your dad's songs? Like to be able to do an album of nothing but Donny Hathaway songs. So think about that. When we come back, and whatever question you have, I got a lot of questions for Layla. So if you want to ask your questions, then you better beat me to it. 323-284-7826. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey guys, listen up. Learn something. 26 years of marriage from 2 unique perspectives equals 52 years of relationship experience. It's time for Ask Marla and Dave. Answers to your questions about life, love, and relationship based on Marla and Dave's real-life experience. It's about to get real. Ask Marla and Dave.
Okay, the Ask Marla and Dave segment is the time and the part of the show where you have previously written in. You've gone to www.marlandave.com. You clicked on the Ask Marla and Dave, and you've submitted your question, and we answer it right here on the air. The question is, can men and women truly be platonic friends? The person writes in and says, my husband and I have been on opposite sides of the fence for our entire 15 years of marriage. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Well,
Now, when you say opposite, I'm a little confused, actually, because when you say
One
opposite
thinks-
sides of the fence of this question, or what are you saying?
I think of the question. It seems like one person in the marriage feels like it's possible, the other person thinks not. And that's very interesting because in this question has really been in our queue for a minute, but I thought it's so fitting to deal with this because I was just in Vegas with a platonic friend of mine, and he's a guy. We were there. It can happen, but to me, it does bring up a lot of issues as far as perceptions. I think the first harmful thing about that is how that's perceived. I know several people on my scope were like, wait a minute, where's Dave? And, blah,
Thank you
blah,
for looking
blah.
out for Dave. Thank you for looking out for Dave.
So the bottom line is, but I do think that it can happen because I'm a person who just believes that your integrity is your integrity to hold no matter what. And so I don't really, for my life, I don't define my friendships based on gender.
Well, I actually think that it really depends on the semantic. What do you mean by platonic? Does that mean that one of the friends, parties in the friendship actually don't want to take it to the next level? I think most guys with most pretty women would go to the next level if given the opportunity. But usually
that doesn't change the platonic.
And there are some women who would actually be willing to take it to the next level, whether it be with whoever. But I think the issue is, what do you mean by platonic? Does that mean that there's no attraction, or we're simply just friends? Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. I agree with Lalah. Lalah said you can't police a motive, and I think that, as long as you keep your integrity, you can have a friendship
I can say this.
with the opposite sex that actually doesn't go into an inappropriate place. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be attraction there.
And you have to protect the perceptions. You have to protect your relationship. For you, David and I, through the years, we've both had opposite sex platonic friends. Sandra Jones unfortunately passed away, but back in the day, that was your friend.
Absolutely.
I'm Dave's friend.
Yeah. And Lalah tries to come on to me all the time. No, Lalah means no. Anyway, so yes, you don't have to be inappropriate in a relationship. And, that's just our opinion. Thank you for writing in. Ask Marla and Dave, and we are going to get back to the show.
That's how he likes to say.
Welcome back to the Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
Okay, we are back with Lalah Hathaway.
Yeah, it's me.
And again, we invite you to call in and continue to give her congratulations. As artists, we need that.
Thank you.
Let's find out. Okay, I have to get that question answered. Is it even? We got a caller. Is it even possible for you to?
Anything is possible.
But for the longest time, you and I would talk about this, and you were like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah.
Well, she didn't want to. For the longest time, she didn't even want to do any covers, but she's done it.
But I always did covers.
I mean, of your father's.
Yeah, absolutely. I've recorded covers, not necessarily for my records, but I feel like I didn't know at the time, but I had to get myself into position to be able to do that. So maybe.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Get yourself in position.
It means.
Is that a headspace?
It's a headspace. It's a spiritual space. It's a space of wanting to make sure that I'm established and not using that
to get ahead. Yeah.
So even though I never saw it as like a shadow, I've only ever seen it as a light. I just feel in a lighter space. I'm super moved by my feelings and how I feel, and now I feel like that could happen. We're also doing a documentary.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
Yeah. So I would maybe record something to go along with that.
Oh, I'll be watching, my friend.
It's gonna be good.
So late now.
Wait.
They kept asking, and they kept saying that this is an historic Grammy win. Explain that for us.
It was. So 2 human beings have ever won 2 traditional rhythm and blues Grammys. They are Beyonce and Aretha Franklin. Neither of them has ever won it back to back.
Back to back.
So Lalah Hathaway is the only artist
ever
that has won traditional R&B Grammys back to back.
Yes.
Now you see,
isn't that crazy?
This is where it all pays off. At the end of the
crazy.
day, to me, it's almost like Laylah's the only one getting retribution. Black folks not getting anything. We didn't get our 40 acres and a mule, but they're making it right for you, Lalah. I appreciate that.
40 Grammys and a mule. She'll take it.
So you talked about being in a right space and your emotion, and I think that you're not all the way there, because I saw something happen that I'd like to talk about.
What was it?
When they called your name, first of all, I did think I peed a little bit, so I have to just admit that. You did? I didn't see any yellow stains on the dress. You look like an angel floating down the aisle,
Thank
number
you very
one.
much. Thank you.
Number two, when you received the Grammy, despite all the discussions that we've had, you must look me in my face and tell me the moment when you got ready to say that it was
A Grammy with my daddy's song on it. Yeah,
But
I
you
almost
were-
went.
but you've always said, no, I can't. I can't. I'm not gonna cry. I can't cry.
It came up, and I almost went.
We have a picture of your face. There it is.
I clutched my pearls and I pulled it together, Lord. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Oh, that's past the moment, isn't it? That's just the moment right before I got it back together.
So why'd you stifle?
Because
it was very emotional. Because all the rest of us didn't.
Did you cry?
I got a little teary when you started to cry. Then it was like, wait, Shayla's crying.
You cry.
I know. My sister actually texted me and said, "You're a pretty crier. You should do it more often." She said, "You only cry for 15 seconds, and then you pulled that thing right back in. You should do that."
I didn't think you actually cried. I think that you just it was coming.
It was
but
beginning to happen.
Right.
I was feeling flush, like I was hot all over.
But I agree that it is actually a pretty.
Yeah, it's like
it
that
wasn't
was cute.
ugly.
I was definitely clutching my pearls.
It's like tears of joy.
Yes, Raquel
Tears of
said it was
joy.
so dignified. And it was really actually tears of joy. But I know that I am the type of person that if I get started crying, there's a lot of stuff from like 1978.
The music comes up. She said from 1978.
A lot of things are happening. A lot of things going on.
The hook comes in after all this time. Like, she's still crying.
I felt good about it, though. I felt really good about it.
So that moment was really about the magnitude of all the other moments, as well as
it was like the breath.
Song.
It was a breath, and everybody that knows me said, "Oh, we knew you were going at the top of the thing because you tripped up just a little bit."
Right.
And when I tripped up, it was like that scene in The Matrix when the black cat went by twice. I was like, "Oh, get yourself together."
Well, Corey showed it to me because I said, "Oh no!" I said, "Did she cry?" And I said, "You have to show it to me." But when I saw you go in, I was like, oh, that because I could just tell that was
she going down.
So after that moment, you just. I also watched you deal with, which I thought was just so awesome, the other artist.
Oh yeah.
But with such sincerity, like that was just, and you were it was so clear that everybody else in that category, this is like huge, and they were all
it was a huge category.
Deserving.
Yeah.
Because I said this earlier in my scope. I'm gonna be real. There are a lot of people who get Grammys, and I'm not gonna even say, even though they may have popular songs, they're not. To me, the Grammys used to represent the pinnacle of musicianship.
Yeah.
The American Music Awards used to be about popularity.
Yep.
Right.
And then it's just switched. It's like, okay, Beliebers and Biebers, we can hear that music, but to me, and not to say, I'm not trying to shade anybody.
Because you love Justin Bieber's project.
The project is cool for listening to, but I personally wouldn't like, I know Omarion was mad that he didn't get a Grammy for Supposed to Be. But I'm like, that's not supposed to be. That's what I'm kind of saying.
But let's think about what you just said, though, Marla. You know how some people say they do something racist and they say, but some of my best friends are black. You know what I mean?
Say some of your best friends were Omarion.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds like you really just said some of my favorite songs are Justin Bieber songs.
That doesn't mean that, see, to me, though, I'm talking about excellence in the depth of musicianship. So that's a good conversation because I'm telling you that to me, Grammy is supposed to be this. And even back in the day, we didn't appreciate it when you were winning your Grammys, back in 19.
Oh, I appreciate
when we wrote in on the.
Don't listen to Marla. I appreciate my Grammys. And thank you. And I thank you in advance. I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm about to finish. What I'm saying is, when we used to go to the Grammys back in the day, we would watch on camera best spoken word, best polka.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just saying there were categories of recording,
right,
of the arts that half the stuff I'd never heard, and the other half I certainly didn't want to see performed.
Right.
But the Grammys, that was that award show.
Yeah.
Then it shifted, and American Music Awards were the entertaining awards, and so it switched. That's all I'm saying, and we didn't appreciate that then. But I'm saying as time went on, I learned to appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, but see, we're from a different time. A 15-year-old does not know what the word polka means. Right. They don't have any kind of appreciation for what musicians do to get to that point where they're on the Grammy
But to Marla's point, though, isn't that a shame?
It is absolutely a shame. And, I advocate for kids to have music in school so they know that it's more than just a way to meet your celebrity crush backstage. It's like it's a thing that will make you a better person and teach you a lot of things. But it's a microwave world we live in.
Well, do you think that kids naturally on their own seek out different and diverse styles of music, or are they just fed what they're fed and that's what it is?
I think there's a combination. The woeful part is that the computer has made it all at once so easy to find everything, but so hard to find anything. That's what I really think.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean, this happens to me all the time. I will post every day for 3 weeks. I'm coming to Atlanta. I'm coming to Atlanta. Come see me. I'm coming to Atlanta. I'll post it every day. And the day after I leave Atlanta, someone will hit me and say, I'm your biggest fan. I follow you on social media.
When you coming to Atlanta?
When you coming to Atlanta?
Yeah.
There's just, remember when we were kids, there were 4 channels. We got all our information from one of those 4 or 5 channels in the radio. Now there's 4,000 channels. There's so many ways to get information that sometimes it gets by you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you're my biggest fan, you probably would have seen
not
one of those
Layla's
posts.
biggest fans. No. I've learned something very special about Layla because today let me say this. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna stop discounting you, Layla's #1 fans who call her by the wrong name. I'm gonna stop. I understand that maybe there's something there. Maybe
but some people might be Lala's biggest fan.
No.
Yeah, but that's Lalah Anthony. That's not who we're talking about here.
She's married.
She has no Grammys. No. That's what I'm saying.
The other day, someone tweeted me. They wanted to know what my dad was doing. They said they were a big fan.
Now, when somebody makes a mistake like that,
that's not.
What do you feel about that level of mistake? Does that actually make you angry, or
it doesn't make me angry, but it makes me feel like, ugh. It doesn't. It's not no words. It's just. Ugh.
And I have to say this because I'm not the music person in this room. Even you, Tony, got me on this one. But there are things that are historic about music that you just know. To me, that's a whole nother kind of problem.
Yeah.
Before I knew Layla, I knew what had happened with Donny Hathaway. I knew of Donny Hathaway. I knew.
Right.
So that's not a...
This lady on the Periscope said that's when the cicadas strike.
Well, we have several people in the chat room, Layla, that say that they definitely are your best friend. They know how to pronounce your name and spell it right.
No, her #1 fan, not her best friend.
I mean, yeah. Did I say best friend?
You did.
#1 fan.
They didn't say anything about BFF.
Yeah, I'm trying to hook you up, Nicole, but, Marla just busted me.
Aww.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So, on to that moment. Talk to us about the night. Because somebody, what did you think about, because one of the things we were talking about, which is kind of the overtone of our show today, is where we are as minorities in entertainment. Oh. Did you stay through the Grammys?
I did. I always want to see the big show.
So Kendrick
What did you
Lamar,
think of the show?
Kendrick Lamar, let's talk.
Kendrick Lamar was fire, and the real reason why I was happy to be there. I just thought it was such a great piece of art that he presented. He went in all the way, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was hardcore.
Yeah, it was.
And
I told him, I said, I'll come sing in the band. And his MD said, the band is behind a burning bush. You don't want to be back there. I was like, I will go behind the bush. Don't get it twisted.
But isn't it also a shame, though, that you and I travel the world doing our music, but in other countries, the music is like a big presentation.
Yeah, it is.
And it seems like, any group, and every group that comes out just has a big production that goes along with it.
And when we go there, we get that.
Yeah. But what about what happens here at home?
It's interesting. I feel like the rest of the world kind of understands that music and art are important to people in a way that we don't understand it yet. We're a young
country.
Now,
do you think that we don't understand it, or is it that money is way more important?
I think both things are true. I think we are a super young country. I think that we are the Miley Cyrus of countries.
Oh, so we don't have any ass. I see what you're saying.
And we're always acting out.
Yeah.
We are.
And we like to be naked.
We are the annoying little brother of countries.
Wow.
We've got a lot of stuff to get together.
So then I guess Donald Trump might be right.
Oh.
No, Dave, don't ever say that.
Is that what you're saying?
We're the Donald Trump of countries.
So did you have a favorite performance of the night?
It was by far Kendrick Lamar. I mean, the whole presentation of it, the musicality of it. He's a musician to me.
Oh, yeah.
Everything about it was super, super good. I thought Tori Kelly sounded great and James Bay sounded great. I thought it was cool to see the Eagles because I never thought I would as a 12-year-old, and I'm a huge fan of the Eagles. I sat right near the little round stage so I could hear everybody that was up there, and I thought it was interesting to see Justin with the guitar. And I thought when he couldn't get his guitar off of him and he smashed it on the ground, I felt so bad.
Yeah, now we were at home watching it on TV and the lights kind of went down. I was like, did he mean to smash his guitar?
He went to take it off and he almost tripped. So when he got his balance, he just smashed it like he was angry at the guitar. Justin is angry. Justin is angry, and I saw it in a flash. He told me so much about himself when he smashed that guitar because the guitar had been so good to him and so sweet during that performance, and then he couldn't get it off, and he just destroyed it.
I hate your guitar.
And it told me something. And that's another story entirely for another show. Yeah, I did. I was concerned about I'm just going to say it out loud. There was one group that I think is probably a really great group. I don't know. I can't speak on it, but they sang the song about the Girl Crush song. And I was super non-impressed.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, no, it was but wasn't that a big song?
Is it country?
No,
No,
I don't think it's
I know
country.
what you're talking about.
Is it country pop?
Actually, it's just pop.
Is it pop?
Help us, audience.
I don't
What's
know.
the song?
Girl Crush.
They're called, what's the name of the band? I'm sure they're great.
But I think that the way that they sang the song wasn't the original way that the song is
was
usually
it a
presented.
remix?
It was like a nice love.
Little
Big Town.
Town.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they're great. So, but I was like, wow, I would really love to have heard That's the Way of the World right here, or China Star, or
Yeah.
it just seemed like a lot of things. And Rihanna didn't come, so there seemed like there was space in the show.
Yeah, and see, there are so many things about this particular
interesting.
Grammy Award show
Yeah.
that was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about...
What about Adele?
I was about to say, Adele and the
I thought
microphone falling in the piano.
I love the way she handled it.
I could hear the clicking, and I was literally like,
You were right there.
I was right there,
Yeah.
so I could hear the clicking, and I knew that was wrong. I could hear her actually singing.
Yes.
So I know that she was closer to what was real than what I was hearing come out of the monitors, and I think she was having some problems. So I felt so bad because I hate in-ears. I used them once with Take 6, and that was the only time they ever made sense to me. But they're hard to use, so I feel bad that she had a hard time. You never want to. You want to be perfect in front of a billion
From
people.
the television screen perspective, it sounded like a strange guitar patch from a Casio that was playing like ding,
Did Dave
ding,
just say
ding.
Casio?
Yeah, it
And
was
then
bad.
they said
Like
that
Radio
the
Shack-ish?
microphone had fallen into the
fallen.
piano.
Yeah, that
so
was
every
bad.
time you hit the keys or played a chord, the microphone would jump up and land back on the keys.
Right, which makes total sense.
And it was just
And then
very
she said
strange.
it's just a good reason for her to go in and out. She was happy about it. That's what she said afterwards.
I like her.
Yeah, she's
think
very
her
funny.
personality.
I dig her personality. I do not want to hear that Hello song not another time.
What?
Never.
Hello?
Never again. Please don't.
Layla looked at me. That's the first time I saw an actual disciplinary look in Layla's eyes.
I can't do it
She
anymore.
said,
Unless Johnny Cash is going to come back and record it, I don't want to hear it anymore.
So let me ask you this. That brings up another point. So we all get like that with songs that we hear so much over the airways, and everything you turn on, every kind of media
Yes.
is playing that song. Would you feel that way if it was Little Ghetto Boy?
Yes.
Would you be like, I don't ever want to hear
No, I
Little
wouldn't.
Ghetto Boy
well, I
again?
feel that way
wouldn't feel
at
that
Christmas.
way. No. You do?
I do. With Christmas songs in general.
But not this Christmas. What?
No, that's always been one of my favorites. I
Me too.
think that is my all-time favorite song.
Yes, mine too.
And it's a universal Christmas song, which
It's
makes
true.
that super cool. You can hear that in Nordstrom's. I don't really shop there. I just go to listen to Donnie.
I have
my
to
whole
tell the
thing.
children no. It's not
All
a
right,
Christmas
guys, we
song.
will continue the conversation with Layla after this break.
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
All right, this is why Marla belongs in the doghouse this week.
F it.
She really just wanted to do her own thing, and she's at the point in her life, and I actually agree with it, that she should be able to do whatever the hell she wants to and do her own thing. Now, she goes to Vegas to do her own thing, and she's constantly calling me up. And I'm saying to myself, Marla, I'm not there, so do your own thing. And
I could
she
do what I want.
belongs
And
in
at
the
that
doghouse.
moment, I wanted to call you. That's what I wanted to do.
And while I appreciate
I'm gonna
that,
start calling Tony, and I would call Layla more, but Layla's was probably in a red cup. She don't even be answering. You know what I'm saying? She on that now. Her thing just says, "See my Grammy."
And I won't even get on her for the fact that I go on her social media and I see Marla's face and basically her whole upper half of her body buried in about a size 57 triple X.
Ooh, wow.
Breast size.
Her breasts were. Go on my Instagram. This girl's breasts.
What's your Instagram? Marla Talks?
Marla Talks. Wait. Yeah, you go on the Instagram. But in the meantime, before I even do that, I'm gonna. This isn't posted, but I'm gonna show you because here's what happened.
Tony's pulling it up now. I actually felt like I was left out. That's why she really belongs in the doghouse.
Oh my gosh.
Marla and I have been to Vegas many times together, and she never invited me to put my face in breast with her.
Well,
so
listen,
Marla goes in the
my
doghouse.
friend that was with me is single, and he wanted to take a picture, and then lo and behold, as one might.
Is that a pasty?
Yeah, she's standing on the street with her ass out in a pasty.
I'm saying these are 7 pasties stapled together.
You can
The
even
big areola.
Anyway, and then when she was supposed to be charging my friend for the picture, because that's what they do on Fremont Street, when he asked me to take the picture, when I got ready to hold the camera up, she said, ain't you Monice's mama from Love and Hip Hop? And I was like, God.
Now you
and
get the boobs. Now
then
the boobs.
she insisted on the picture.
So what you're saying is it was really a turn up. They recognize that you like to turn up.
Listen.
She's a celebrity. You know?
I'm not. Listen.
Sometimes boobs and butt come with that. You know?
So that's what ended up happening, for the record. So the breast got smashed upon me. It was like pushed into my face, like.
Well, again, this was the doghouse break
they were
that I
real.
guess I'm not going to the doghouse at all. Marla's accepting her doghouse, and we're going to get right back to the show. We'll be right back.
What's the action?
You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll get mad.
Shut up!
You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
Well, there you have it. Marla, she just had no defense, I guess. I guess she was so traumatized by the breast that she couldn't actually talk about anything else.
Those are not even breasts. Those
Yes.
are huge.
Okay, look, Lay.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here, sweetie? What's the goal?
Well, I have dreams. I have aspirations. There are things I want to do, things I want to accomplish.
What's next?
I'm actually getting ready to start working with a whole gang of people.
Okay,
I'm super excited.
Pause for a minute, too. I also wanted to say thank you for acknowledging at the Grammys that it was very rarely, in a lot of cases, people actually have crowdsourced funding.
Oh, yeah.
And you, not only did you acknowledge, but, you know, it was so useful, and you put that to use. And the people who love you most, which are your fans, can be a part of such a great project.
Absolutely.
Which really happened.
Yeah, they can invest. They did invest at the ground level before I sang a note, before I said anything about the record. They gave me their money.
Yes.
And that's important.
Right.
I need it.
Now, Lay, I want to remind everybody who's just now joining in. Some people have just joined the chat room. If you weren't here before, Layla, this Grammy was historic for Layla because this was she's now the third person to win 2 R&B traditional R&B Grammys, an award for the Grammy, but she is the only one to do it back to back.
And even if there's more, I'll be the first one forever.
So now Layla has when Layla listens to hears a Beyonce song on the radio, or they start talking about Beyonce in the Super Bowl, Layla can now say na 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 na.
I would never though. Listen, let me just say real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Farrakhan said today, if the cops don't want to protect you, the fruit will. I knew that was coming.
The what?
The fruit of Islam.
Oh, okay.
FOI will come protect you. I'm excited about that. You not excited about that?
Protect who, though?
No, because the cops are upset because they felt disrespected.
Okay.
Because of her Super Bowl show.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. But and that's what we wanted to ask you.
I thought the Super Bowl, I thought it was cool. You know what, I think people are so, I don't know what the word is. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her presentation. She always goes above and beyond. She, for me, is like an athlete. She works so hard, and it's so evident that she's trying to present art I appreciate that and I respect it.
Yeah, but what I don't get, number one, first of all, I agree with Bill Maher, who was basically saying that all dances nowadays look like violent protest.
There's a lot of chopping up going on.
So right off the top, it didn't seem like anything different.
Michael Jackson? Nobody thought that we could say that. Can we
But
say
that's
that
what
about Rhythm Nation?
That's what I was going to say. The real bottom
What were
line
they,
is
trying to
music
attack
has
the cops?
musicians and artists in general are always trying to make statements and make political statements about the things that they believe in. There's nothing new about that.
Sure isn't, especially for artists.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying.
NWA just said it straight out.
What'd they say, Marla?
They said, "Fuck the police."
They did. You know?
They sure did.
That's not nice.
Listen, you can say what you want. There's no censorship here, and I'm not in the group, but I'm gonna tell you what the lyrics were.
But all I'm really saying is, number
That's
one,
what they said.
The thing that I also don't appreciate, especially about the Beyonce situation, is that the police have been unjustly targeting minorities.
Dave, you're the lightest.
And they've been proven to be going down that pathway.
Right.
And so, is
I
it
didn't even
wrong
think
to
it was-
actually speak about that?
You know, it's just so much about feelings now. We're so in our feelings in this culture. We're so in our feelings.
So are we?
What's wrong? But isn't that an inappropriate feeling? They should be actually joining Beyonce protest.
But so many of us also are reactive and not proactive. A lot of them don't even know why they don't like they don't know why. They just see an X on her and she's a black woman, and that represents a kind of power that we're not ready for in this country.
And I'm with Layla there. I really.
Is it the black or the woman?
It's the combination. Because all things, this is my true belief, and I can only see it through my lens. But there's a lot of racism, there's a lot of sexism. So when you combine being black and a woman,
female, yep,
there's a different kind of power that comes with that is frightening to people.
You're Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
On one hand, I hear what you're saying, and I agree to a point. But Beyonce is one of the biggest artists.
But here's
we won't even say a female. She's one of the biggest artists in the world.
That's why
and to
it's
have
so much
that
more
many
threatening.
fans, those fans aren't just black.
But that's why it's even a bigger threat.
Right.
Because she is a black woman with power.
But I'm kind of tired of cherry picking. If you want to be honest, I'm tired.
Why are they mad now? Because she's had that power for quite some time.
We're not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to just keep this real. We're not going to be able to do anything until we unify the populace of the communities that are not just black, but anybody on the other side of oppression of any kind, and people who are being unjustly dealt with. Because the reality is, yes, what Obama shows us is that there's hope and potential. What Oprah shows us, to me, you're cherry picking. Like you're taking people who are at the head of something and saying, well, look, but that's one person. Where are we? Because it's going to take a community to make the change, which is what Layla was saying, which is why I really appreciated that comment when she said, I have to go to Naris and vote.
Right.
Because what she's saying is she was pissed off for a while. She didn't say pissed. I did. She was at home going, fuck that establishment.
Never.
I feel like her hair is purple. It has happened at one point, whether we heard it or not. I know it came out.
Yes, Marla's, as usual, out of control.
I'm just saying.
She's like
that's my back brain.
Key and Peele.
That's my Layla back brain.
Layla says something, then Marla actually tells us the real.
You know what though? It's different. It's different when you're up there, the single ladies, and shaking your ass. But when you go like this, you're sending a message with that. You telling.
So you agree?
Absolutely. You telling a story with this little move right here.
Well, let me ask Tony. I know you have.
Tony's white, so if you guys can't see him.
This is why I'm asking Tony. Tony, did you feel any level of racism in Beyonce's Super Bowl performance?
No.
Well, there you have it.
Every time we ask Tony to participate, he comes in with the one word. So, Tony, we need to ask you something. Such and such. No.
White guys are super direct.
But Tony, do you understand where people are coming from?
Oh yeah, I do. I see where they come from, but I think it's a generational thing, and I think it's passed down from generation to generation.
I agree.
I think people here in LA probably don't see it as much as people in Alabama.
Well, I told one of my clients this, and I hate to say this, and this conversation is taking a turn, but I'm gonna put this out there. She was asking me, well, black people is a client of fitness, And she says, black people seem angry and, or where's this going? And what I said is, let me explain something to you so you can, thanks for asking. And she felt safe asking me. I said...
She didn't really know that you're probably the angriest.
Yeah, she doesn't get
of all black women.
She quickly
didn't know what she was getting into.
But I said, generally, white people are born teaching hate, and black people have our children, and we're born teaching our children to defend against it. That's really how I really feel about that. We taught our son, you can't just roll around like your friends and think that the police are going to give you the same breaks. So we didn't teach him to be aggressive, but we taught him to defend against the institution, the system of what is. And so that's kind of where we are. So to me, do you think, Lalah, that entertainers, do you think you and your merry band of you and Dave and all the Grammy recipients through the past, do you think that the change is going to come through entertainment? Like, is that going to be a
It will absolutely come through music.
Okay.
Absolutely come through music. It is the only thing that everybody understands. I can go stand in any corner of the world and communicate without words to somebody how I feel with music.
And I think nowadays, though, the screen can also be a medium for change as well, because that allows someone to actually not just listening. I think when you're listening, you're really actually allowing your mind to actually take you into the situation. But when you watch it on the screen, you just get totally immersed. And if it's a very powerful message that's being presented at a movie, it might work there as well. But music has been doing this forever.
Right.
The whole 60s, the whole thing, especially they were talking about the Black Panthers then. That's when it happened, and that was the whole movement at the time.
Music has accompanied every movement.
Absolutely.
Every movement, absolutely. And so what and for me, I actually take a step back every time that I hear somebody say that they compared the Black Panthers to the Ku Klux Klan and say that the Black Panthers were also a terrorist situation. The real issue is that the Ku Klux Klan's motto was to terrorize. That's why they dressed the way they dressed. The Black Panthers' motto was to defend not just the defenseless. And if no one else would take care of us, this is what we have to do. And it wasn't just about defending black people. It was anyone who was oppressed.
Right. It was about sending kids to school with breakfast, with lunch.
Absolutely.
It has nothing
and
to do
making
with
sure
the
that they
Ku
can
Klux
walk
Klan
home
at all.
safely.
Nothing to do. Completely, But people are afraid of black men as well. So super scary. You're fired.
Tony for 10.
So, guys, do you boycott the Oscars? Yes or no?
I'm boycotting because they bore me. I want to watch them because I love Chris Rock, but I'm generally, it's like
Can't really
4
relate.
hours. It's like 4 hours,
There's not one movie that you feel like. So, do you think that it's not giving minorities a look in film, or do you just think that it's just filling the roles that are put out there? And they have a white man now that is scheduled to play Michael Jackson.
No, it's not going to happen. Ray Fiennes. He's not going to play Michael.
Not Ray Fiennes.
What's his name? Is it Ray Fiennes? Is it his brother?
There's somebody. It's not Ray.
But here's the thing. I really don't think.
I don't think it is. Maybe it is.
The real bottom line
Ray
is
Fiennes.
it is
bad.
Ray Fiennes. Oh, we take it back, Layla. We're sorry for laughing.
Layla, we don't. You can't be a Grammy, hoard the Grammys and all the intelligence in the room.
In all fairness, it might be difficult to find a black actor with a level of talent that it would take that could be as
Dave, you're light-skinned
as light-skinned as Michael Jackson was.
I don't care how light-skinned. They better get Chris Tucker.
So they might start with Chris Tucker, but by the time it's over, it might have to be Ray Fiennes. You know what I mean?
It's hard because you don't want to see anybody, like blacked up or blacked down or whited up. It happens all the time.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, if you actually put makeup on to change somebody's skin color, it would be another level of issue.
Yeah, but
would it not?
But women do it every day. We put makeup on our. It's so weird. Everything how it goes. It's a slippery slope. Slippery slope.
Matter of fact, I'm
super orangey right now.
I did not. the first time I heard of the term yellowface was when they had an acting troupe actually portraying kabuki theater, and they were white actors, stage actors, actually dressing up as if they were Asian.
It's like David Carradine.
Look at
we
Beyonce,
thought David Carradine was
who's
Asian.
changed her.
Oh,
right.
She's light skinned. You've seen my Outrun the Sky album cover. I was super pasty and my lip looked heavy, and it bothered me so much that they lightened my skin on that cover and they put extra lipstick on my lip. And my manager said, well, the guy is a professional Photoshopper. That's what they do. And I felt like it was racist.
Really?
I did.
But Lalah, your lips are definitely iconic. Those are iconic lips.
Thanks
you do
so
know
much.
that. That is, I think, Dave, when you say that Layla's lips are like a trademark.
Well, Lalah is actually kissing the mic right now.
I wasn't.
It's making me highly uncomfortable.
I wasn't. No. See, that's not what I look like.
Yeah, well, see and again, there are filters that come on Instagram, and they kind of change the complexion a little bit, but not all the way. You know what I mean?
I'm super light bright there, though.
Anyway, we digress. We digress from the issue at hand, which is, do you have an African American play Michael Jackson toward the end of his life? I'm not sure if that's even possible.
I think it is possible. I don't think that
What do you mean it's not possible in a land where you can turn a human into a ghoul?
What I'm saying is
makeup can be
no. What I'm saying is I understand that you can do that with makeup. Would it be right to do that?
Dave, what are you going to be? What are you going to do? What are you going to decide? You're going to be on the dark skin side or the light skin side? You were militant.
The sky,
you were militant in the last segment.
Wanna be. No, what I'm actually saying, Marla, is that it seemed like Michael Jackson was actually changing his own pigmentation.
He was.
Okay, so that being said.
But he also, from what I understand, made a statement he did not want to be portrayed by someone white.
He made that statement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
Hello.
Well, then you honor somebody's wishes no matter what.
He tried to call you, but you weren't answering because you thought it was, What, Michael Jackson?
No, that guy right there. Jesse. Is his name Jesse?
Layla's
Love you,
sidetrack.
Jesse.
What?
Smart and fine. It's a lethal combination.
All right, Lalah, let's get back to the Grammys before we actually go to the next break.
All right.
When it comes to the Grammy ceremony, when you're sitting in those seats, explain that feeling that you had this particular Grammy situation.
Well, you have to show up at 12:30 because we go to the pre-show because our categories are not televised.
Right.
Because we're black. No, I'm kidding. And because
I'm Lalah. Don't get up.
Because there are like 110 categories and only 6 are televised. That's why. So the pre-show is where most of us go, and I go and sit down and. Literally, I took my pulse a few minutes before Jimmy Jam came on stage, and it was at 150.
Now, the pre-show, for those
of
you who don't know.
Your pulse was at 150 resting?
Sitting in the seat quiet.
150?
And when he said...
Did you say 50 or 15?
150. When he said the nominees for Best
heart attack.
Traditional R&B, it shot up to 180.
Really?
While I was sitting there.
Did you sweat? You look great.
No, I was just sitting there, and Stephanie said, I couldn't tell if you were freaking out, if you were okay, because you just looked completely still. That's me, though. I just throttled back.
She was like, am I dying?
Now, her face throttles back, but clearly her heart
yes.
was
time was so
on
slow.
fleek.
Time was moving so slowly. What time is it? I couldn't figure out what was happening.
You don't ever reference that again.
I was completely lost.
But now the pre-show is a little more loose.
It's super loose.
Yes, more loose in its presentation than the televised portion. So you're kind of sitting there, kind of hanging out. And
absolutely. You can have popcorn in there.
You can do anything you want in there.
And you're waiting. And it's
Matter of fact, Gronkowski
categories.
was there. No, just joking.
It's all the categories, so you get to see all the people that have won for everything that's not televised. And it's a nice show, but it was nerve-wracking.
Okay, but that moment. Did you have anything prepared? This is the question I want you to come back with.
What's your pulse right now? As you start
7.
As you start to think about it.
It's 7.
When you come back, I want to find out, did you have anything in your mind prepared in case this was not the outcome? I mean, is there something that you would say, or how was that going to look? We'll be right back.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave Love Game. Here are Marla and Dave to explain how it works.
All right, so the MaD Love Game, as the MaD family, you guys all know, is a game created by Marla and me. It has the 3 categories that we think impact relationships, and that is finance, communication, and sex. It's played after you go to www.marlandave and go to the MaD merch and you buy your copy. When you get it, it's played by rolling a single die. The die has the categories on it as well as the MaD logo. When it lands on the MaD logo, you get to choose sex if you want to. Actually, no, you get to choose any category that you want. So Lalah is a MaD family favorite, and she's been here many times. She's played the MaD Love Game. We're going
and
to.
I also want to let everybody know I've now taken the MaD Love Game to the street, so you can begin to look for me everywhere I go, but we'll be doing and playing MaD selfie surveys that are asking questions from the MaD Love Game.
So, Lalah, if you would, do us the honors of rolling the die.
This music is so very Love Boat. I like it.
It's our game show music.
Oh, it's a question with a little quote bubble.
That's
That's communication. So, Lalah, your question is, what is the #1 pet peeve women have about men's communication?
That they don't communicate?
That there is none.
That there's none? I'm going to say the #1 communication thing. I think that men have the pet peeve. They have a hard time expressing their feelings.
Okay, Marla, what do you think?
Somebody said the lack of.
Yeah, or that.
So it's a woman's pet peeve about a man's communication?
What is the #1 pet peeve women have about a man's communication?
I have a big pet peeve. I feel like that you guys, you use up there's no word count. I think you have like, every day you wake up and you have like 100 word usage throughout the day. And in my world, that's sad for you because yours are used up with having to be around me like by 10 in the morning. And then you're just mute for the rest of the day. And then I just take advantage of you by saying yes to everything I want.
Well, the answers come from the PEW or the Pew Research Center. And the answer for this one is they need, the #1 pet peeve is that men need to be prompted from a woman's perspective. Men need to be prompted to do everything.
Oh,
Most women feel that on their own, men will never tell them why they love them or express their feelings in that way, or why they're special to them, or why they need them.
We're both right.
A man would he has to be prompted to do all the things that a woman wants.
Someone here on the scope says, Dave, that men listen to who they want to listen to. That the one that they really love or the one they want to be with. No, they don't.
No,
they listen to everything. They just
but
don't
respond.
necessarily.
Yeah, they don't say anything.
Well,
they hear you.
From my perspective, first of all, let me get back to the card. Each card has a further discussion question, so when you're playing with your friends, it makes for a really great conversation. The further discussion point for this question is, how can women get men to communicate the way they want?
What's that, Lalah?
Lalah said it's with boobs.
Visit picture 4 on
actually,
my
that's
Instagram.
actually men getting women to communicate the way they want.
Someone on someone on Layla's scope says, "I can show you better than I can tell you."
It's such a cruel joke the way men and women communicate with each other. Just
I think that you can. I think that, you know what, David? To be totally honest, that we used to, truth be told, we used to barter.
Okay.
We would barter. You don't remember
that?
that?
Me as a
Words
question?
for boobs.
Sex was the if you do this, then I'll give you a blowjob.
That is the worst thing that you can ever do. No, I didn't like that. The real bottom line is
true.
this.
I would do it just because
In
I needed to get
reality,
out. I needed freedom.
I'm
Help me,
pretty
let me
sure
out of here.
a woman doesn't want a man to communicate the way a woman communicates, and a man wouldn't want a woman to communicate the way the man communicates.
I think
Where would the attraction be?
Sometimes you want that.
Sometimes you don't want the stress, but I think you want to allow somebody to be themselves.
I think you have
don't
to
you?
learn who this man is, and in your case, I could pretty much, throw a little something at you, a little something your way, and you would pretty much be okay with it.
I didn't even want to hear that my parents talking like this.
I think men, from my perspective, men really just don't want it to be so confrontational.
Right.
And a lot of women have when their feelings get on the table. We don't mind that kind of conversation. But when their feelings get on the table, it's so, the man doesn't want to hurt the woman, and then it's almost like, what do I say? Because
we would like regular conversation, like
Right.
about food
Cereal.
and art and stuff.
And Dave, you're famous for that, being silent and not speaking.
I am too, though.
Going quiet.
I go quiet too.
Yeah, Layla. Yeah, Layla used to scare me too because I've never met anybody that also games. You were a huge gamer in the beginning.
I'll withhold my love.
Well, first of all,
that is the guy from Take 6.
Again, that's the Mad Love game. We thank you guys for playing. We thank Layla for playing, and you can get your version, like we said at the beginning, at www.marlandave.com. Go to the Mad merch, click on there, buy the Mad Love game, play with your friends. Quick, we only have a few left.
But you know what, Red Cups. But you know what? We're gonna actually have to have a conversation soon. I want to discuss the whole: do men really prefer an aggressive woman in the bed? I think that most men do. They're hiding. They. Tony, do you want an aggressive woman in your bed? I think they do.
All right. Well, that's the Mad Love Game segment. We're going to move on with the show.
You guys need a longer show.
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
All right, before we get back to the show, we're going to cover this week's poll question.
Why is Tony
and tell
Fontana
you what
saying suck their dick in my chat room?
Okay, Marla, okay. This is the time for the poll question.
Oh, sorry.
And so...
No, he's having a conversation.
The poll question this week... Hey, everybody. The poll question this week was, how many calories does the average person burn having sex? Your options were 1,000, 500, 250, or 50. Now that again, these are actual questions from the Mad Love game, but most people actually, matter of fact, everyone said that you can burn 500 calories.
I'm gonna say 250.
They kind of tried to actually be in the middle somewhere, so they said 500. And
there is a right answer to this, by the way.
There is a right answer, which we didn't put on the poll question, but most people considered 500 calories. That's actually a lot.
And I have a
That's two spin
there's
classes.
a video that I'm going to play next week that is I did this poll on the street, and the answers that we've gotten are astonishing.
There's a lot of high energy.
I've
people
heard
out there.
Conversations that are way up in the thousands.
Well,
yeah.
Well. Next week's poll question is, are minorities overreacting about getting the short end of the stick in Hollywood? Your
Some
options
of them are
no, hashtag blacklisted, or yes, hashtag
colorblind.
Colorblind. And you actually can find that poll on the homepage of www.marlandave.com, our website, or on our social networks from time to time. And we're going to get back to the show.
Can you handle the truth? This is modern American dialogue in a mad world from two unique, fresh, transparent perspectives. This is the Marla and Dave radio show.
It was Gretchen. That's what I was going to.
All right, guys, we're back.
Hi.
Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know what, Layla, is there a way? Where can people? Did anybody put the speech?
Yes. It's everywhere. It's on Facebook. If you Google Lalah Hathaway Grammys, it'll come up, I think. I don't know.
And so
it's on the screen.
We can look forward to. I'm actually this is the first time I've heard you talk about the documentary. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So, and the documentary is about Donnie?
Yeah, about the life and times and music of Donnie Hathaway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a chronicle of the musical journey of your dad.
Like a real. I prefer documentaries because I want to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this before we even let you go. When is the first time for you as a little girl that you recall that connection with my dad's Donnie Hathaway, more than just the adornment of a daughter to a father?
As a little girl,
or your first memory, whatever it was.
There was a movie of me taking his shoes off or untying his shoes on the steps of the house that my mother owns now. And that pretty much, when I see it, it brings that memory back to me. But I didn't really even get that he was who he was until almost college. Like, I didn't know.
You didn't know his impact.
No, I didn't.
Right.
I still discover it now. I still go places I've never been, and people.
So, but every time you said your last name, didn't you? Because
No.
every time someone says that to me, they're like, Hathaway?
No.
You mean Donnie Hathaway's?
No.
And I'm like, it's his daughter.
You know my mother. So you recognize that things are super regular where I come from and super
Keeping it
grounded.
real.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be with your mom when the U-Haul picks y'all up because I'm trying to go. I'm going.
She's nuts. I'm taking her to dinner when I leave here.
She's here still?
Nice.
Yeah, she's leaving tomorrow.
Why did you bring her?
She was visiting with her grandchildren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my little niecey poos.
Okay. So that's what we have to look forward to. You guys, it's always fun.
Is it over?
No, we have a caller who wants to get their last minute congratulations in. Caller,
it goes so fast.
Caller, you're on the air with Marla, Dave, and Lalah Hathaway.
Hi.
What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, my name is Taurus, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
Hi.
Taurus from Tennessee.
Hey.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to tell Lalah congratulations again.
Thank you.
I was actually at the live show. It was a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much.
Wow, so you
And
came
I
all the way
also,
from Tennessee
gave you-
to actually hear see the live performance?
I did. I had to. I wanted to be in the room when it happened.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
See, that's
And
what she was saying.
I also submitted the picture that you had with your father for Little Ghetto Boy Art.
Oh, wonderful. Is it on the website?
No, it was the one you had for your profile picture for a while. That was the one I sent you.
Yes, I remember. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, and I had one question. When is the live DVD coming out?
Okay, so I have to get it all edited, and I've been kind of caught up the last few months. So hopefully...
Just getting Grammys, Taurus.
Hopefully before the end of the year, but it is coming, so I have no doubt about that. I spent so much time and put so much love into it, and we're going to get it edited so you can see it soon.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations
Thank
again.
you so much.
Thanks for calling,
Okay,
Taurus.
Do you have any more? You were talking about there's a grip of people that you're about to start working with, or that you are these things arranged, or
These are things I'm trying to get arranged.
Okay.
Are you hip to Tiffany Goucher?
No.
You got to Google Tiffany Goucher. That's my new... I love her.
Why? Like,
she's just real, and the music is
Any
real, and
genre?
it's simple, and it's soul music, but
Okay.
it's new soul music, and it's, I don't know, we got to come up with another word for what it is.
Now, let me ask you a question,
Tiffany
Lay.
Goucher.
Are you familiar with Kamasi Washington? Kamasi Washington.
Yes, he's in the Little Ghetto Boy video.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Or do you want to? Have you worked with him before?
No, I have never worked with him. I want to work with Kamasi. I want to work with the internet.
And
he's a great trumpet player.
Okay.
He's had like the #1 jazz record for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks this year.
Okay.
Young man. And want to work with the internet. Want to work with Philip Boudreau. There's so many people that I've never heard of or seen that have this music that I've gotten to hear this year, that I really want to work with those people. I really want to see what's new, see what just see what'll happen.
So
well, now we know you're very active on social networks online. Where can people, and I hate to say it like this, but where's the best place to find out about
There is no
Lalah
best
Hathaway?
place. You can come to Periscope and see these things. You can go to my Instagram and see photos. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat. I do every single thing. I'm now doing Facebook mentions. And so, it's Lalah Hathaway everywhere.
But so I don't have to look like a boo-boo the fool when I say I'm your #1 fan, but I don't even know when you're coming to Atlanta.
Oh.
So
all my dates are at LalahHathaway.com.
There
That
you
is
go.
the central hub for what the dates are.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And what's next?
Memphis, DC.
Tell us the date? Like the very next thing.
She said LalahHathaway.com.
Gosh, I don't know.
But I have LalahHathaway.com right here.
No, you have Lalah Hathaway.
I have no idea what the
She's
dates
the
are.
.com. She's
They're
the whole
coming
thing.
up 12, 13, 14, something like that, and then 21, 27, 40, something like that.
Well, Lay, thank you so much. And
Thank you for
again,
having me.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You are the most deserving
Thank
artist.
you.
And can I always like to make a statement when I close. Guys, the support that I always say, art is something that #1 can only permeate when we support it, but #2, it's so subjective. And for those people who are excellent and at the top of what they do, and please, by all means, continue to support in whatever way that the artists that move you are out there. But on top of that, we got to cherish the artists that embody this enormous talent and can also remain humble and just be, at the end of the day, even though Lalah is legendary in her musical talent, She literally is, well, her red cups are turned up, but I'm just saying. No, Lalah, you're just an awesome person and you're a good soul.
Thank you very much.
So that says a lot because sometimes you can sing, but you're an asshole. She's not one.
What? We know some of those.
Perfect. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to call it the way
Thank you guys again, and thank you again to Lalah. And we are Marla and Dave, and we are navigating the mad world of relationships.
When I'm off with Tony. Tony and I are together. Okay. We're sneaking around.
There you
Tony's
go. This is your last chance. We're navigating the world of relationships.
From kissing Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys next week. See you guys next week. No, don't even try it. See you guys next week. Love you guys. Thanks for stopping by.